In our featured video today, we're going to explain the top 8 reasons why your car overheats. So make sure to stay until the end so you know what to watch out for when you drive. We'll begin with the least expensive reasons and move on to the most costly ones. Let's get started. Reason number 1. Check out your coolant level. It's important to check the coolant level, and you should always do this when the engine is cold. Checking when the engine is hot can be dangerous due to pressure and risk of burns. Additionally, coolant expands when hot, so you won't get an accurate reading. Always check the level when the engine is cold for a proper measurement. Low coolant levels are a common reason for car overheating because it circulates through the engine to absorb and dissipate heat. If the level is too low, the coolant can't effectively cool the engine, causing it to overheat. Regularly checking and maintaining the proper coolant level can prevent overheating and protect your engine from damage. Reason number 2. Bent radiator cap. A bent radiator cap can cause a car to overheat. The radiator cap keeps the pressure in the cooling system at the right level, so the coolant can flow properly and not boil. If the cap is bent, it might not seal right, letting coolant leak out and air get in. This messes up the pressure and stops the coolant from cooling the engine well, leading to overheating. So make sure the radiator cap is in good shape and seals properly to keep the engine from overheating. Reason number 3. Bad head gasket. A bad head gasket can cause a car to overheat since it seals the engine block and cylinder head to keep the coolant and engine oil separate. When the head gasket fails, it can let coolant leak into the engine cylinders or oil. This loss of coolant reduces the system's ability to cool the engine, leading to overheating. Additionally, the mix of coolant and oil can create sludge, which further impairs cooling. Fixing a bad head gasket is very important to prevent engine overheating and damage. Reason number 4. Bad thermostat. A bad thermostat can cause a car to overheat because it controls the flow of coolant to keep the engine at the right temperature. So if it gets stuck closed, the coolant can't flow through the radiator, making the engine overheat quickly. If it gets stuck open, the engine might not get hot enough, causing poor fuel combustion and possible overheating when driving hard or fast. Replacing a bad thermostat helps keep the engine temperature normal and prevents overheating. The cost to replace a thermostat typically ranges from $150 to $300, depending on the make and model of your vehicle. Reason number 5. Cracked cylinder, engine block. A cracked cylinder or engine block can cause a car to overheat since the engine block contains the cylinders and coolant passages that help regulate engine temperature. If the block cracks, coolant can leak out, reducing the system's ability to cool the engine. This loss of coolant leads to higher engine temperatures and can cause the engine to overheat. Additionally, a crack can allow engine oil and coolant to mix, creating sludge that further impairs cooling. Fixing a cracked engine block is expensive, often costing between $1,500 and $4,000 or more, depending on the extent of the damage and the vehicle. Reason number 6. Bleed coolant system. Not bleeding the coolant system can cause a car to overheat since air pockets can form in the coolant system, preventing coolant from flowing properly and reducing its ability to cool the engine. These air pockets can block the coolant flow, causing the engine to overheat. Bleeding the coolant system removes these air pockets, ensuring proper coolant circulation. It's an important step to prevent overheating and maintain engine performance. Bleeding the coolant system is usually inexpensive and can only cost between $50 and $150 if done by a professional. Reason number 7. Bad water pump, leaking, broken fan, pump not turning. A bad water pump can cause a car to overheat since its function is to move coolant through the engine. If it's leaking, broken, or not working right, the coolant can't flow and the engine will overheat. A leak means the system loses coolant. A broken fan can't help cool the engine, and a pump that isn't turning can't move the coolant. Overheating can lead to serious engine damage like warped cylinder heads or a blown head gasket. Regularly checking the water pump for signs of wear, leaks, or damage can help prevent these problems, since replacing a bad water pump can be costly and ranges from $300 to $750, depending on your car. Reason number 8, radiator fan not working. A radiator fan not working can cause a car to overheat because these fans cool the engine by pulling air through the radiator when the car is not moving fast enough. If the fan isn't working, the coolant can't cool down properly, especially when the car is in traffic or idling, causing the engine to overheat. This can happen because of a bad fan motor, a blown fuse, a bad relay, or wiring problems, so always make sure that the radiator fan works properly to keep the engine from overheating. If your car starts to overheat due to one of these reasons, the first thing to do is safely pull over and turn off the engine to prevent further damage. Let the engine cool down before opening the hood. Check the coolant level and add coolant if it's low, but only if the engine is cool. Look for obvious issues like leaks, a loose belt, or a fan that isn't working. If you can't find the problem or fix it yourself, call a tow truck and take the car to a mechanic. Continuing to drive with an overheating engine can only cause severe damage. We hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, make sure to like and subscribe so we can assist you. Fix it.